Up to me when the first point, okay? And the hawker, you know, in a timely and a clear manner, especially between first and second serve. Questions, no. Please, can you ask? The blue is heads, okay?
Blue is heads, other side. Since you're both champions, who'd like to call it?
Go ahead. Okay. You take the blue, the heads. Okay, yeah. Yeah, good shot. Stood, okay? Okay, so photo with the picture, please.
These three incredible gentlemen.
Big man.
Certainly has. I believe that is the chief of the Western and Southern Financial Group, John Barrett. He's been here a number of years and did himself proud there.
Yeah, Western and Southern have a home in Cincinnati as we see the draw and how it's panned out this week. No Andy Murray, of course he lost a little early as far as the draw is concerned. No Rafa Nadal, but the two big boys have hung around. Federer winning the all-Swiss duel yesterday against Stan Wawrinka, and Novak Djokovic likewise coming through against Juan Martín del Potro in comfortable style. Neither man, to be honest, has really looked troubled so far all week. Well, it could be a historic day for Roger Federer because no man has won this title 5 times. Mats Wilander, he managed to do it on 4 occasions, but Federer can go one better and really has enjoyed the conditions over the years here, Rob.
No, he certainly has, and you know, historically this tournament is always a little tougher because it's so hot and it's off the back of the Canadian Open when a lot of guys are feeling jaded. And given the efficiency with which he plays, you know, it makes a good scenario for him to excel here, and that's been the case. Looking for title number 76 of his career. Of course, he stands 4th on the all-time list as far as titles, career titles are concerned, and he's enjoying his stay in the penthouse of the rankings for 291 weeks overall now. He has been top of the pile, of course, surpassed Pete Sampras in that department, who was at 286 weeks. The one record that has eluded Roger for so long. And of course, by getting to the finals here, Nick, he will sustain that #1 ranking right through the end of the US Open.
Indeed, because of course Novak Djokovic with winners' points to defend in New York, some 2,000 coming off as we see the titles 20. Win here today, of course, will make it 21, and that'll tie him with Rafa and Nadal. Those two have been catching one another up the whole last couple of years, really, haven't they?
Yeah, and Novak's still a fair way behind, and of course don't forget Andre Agassi sandwiched in there as well.
Got to fast starts this week. That's really been the key to his success. Bogomolov Jr. dismissed. Tomic likewise early break there. Marty Fish, that was a wonderful second set. Probably of the pick as far as the matches go. But I thought Stan Wawrinka played really well yesterday as well. And Federer acknowledged just how well his countryman had played and challenged him in that match. That second match we had yesterday afternoon.
Stan will have a lot of confidence going into the US Open, given how well he's been serving, and his transition game has been outstanding. Speaking of outstanding, of late he's been playing well. The finals last week in Toronto, he was at another level to Gasquet, going after title number 32. And of course 2012 has been pretty solid for him, especially when you break it down and you see how well he's played on hard courts. He's had 9 losses this year, but only 2 have come on this particular surface. So that's what makes this matchup so intriguing. Of course, as Nick alluded to in the opener, first time the number 1 and 2 player in the world are playing each other here in the open era, so that tees things up beautifully for Novak and Roger. And of course, for everybody who's got tickets for today, it's a beautiful day, and always nice to watch history in the making. He's got 12 Masters 1000 titles, but of course he's never won here.
No, 3 missing. One of 3 missing here, Monte Carlo and Shanghai. These are the 3 as far as the Masters 1000 goes that are missing from his CV. And of course no man has ever managed to win all 9, so that would take Djokovic within a couple. There's the results this week. Comfortable against Seppi. Nice little almost evening off really against Davydenko. That was just half an hour or so. Davydenko quitting with a shoulder problem. Largely untroubled, to be fair, as well against Marin Cilic, and then the victory against Del Potro. While again saving the break points was key, just managing to be tough really when he needed to be so, Djokovic yesterday. And Del Potro again not 100% fit certainly, but Djokovic there to take advantage.
You mentioned how well he's done in the last 2 weeks, especially at saving break points. He saved a 35 out of the last 36 he's faced as Novak. And of course, that's going to be crucial when we have a look at the head-to-head, because there's not a lot to pick between these two guys. Federer holds the slight edge overall. But of course, if we look at hard-court matches that they've played in North America, they share the spoils of 5 apiece. But on hard courts, Novak has won 4 of the last 5 meetings, so that perhaps is a little bit more significant. And why I made the reference to break points is because we know how well both guys have been serving of late, but I think it's going to come down to who can return better on the big points on the day. And I think that's where Novak holds the slight upper hand over Roger.
A Swedish umpire in the chair, now lives in Spain these days. Mini celebrity himself, really, Mohamed Layani. We'll enjoy the occasion, I'm sure. In fact, just before you joined us, he was chatting to some of the ball boys earlier on, saying how excited he was by the prospects of the 1 and 2 players in the world meeting. Why not?
Ladies and gentlemen, this final match with best of 3 tiebreak sets. Novak Djokovic won the toss and elected to serve.
DJ's been on a game all week. Aaron, just next door to us, cranking out a bit of Rolling Stones, Start Me Up. I think when you're speaking about legendary rock bands and legendary songs, I think it's the perfect introduction to what should be an outstanding final, Nick.
Okay, boys, 1 minute, one minute. 1 minute
It's a
more.
lunchtime final. Here, early start, 12:30 local time. We've got the 2 best players on the planet who are going to go head-to-head. Federer with before this final. Of course, on the flip side of the coin, Novak has played well in the last 13 days. He's come to this final with plenty of matches under his belt. Outstanding on serve, defending the break points so expertly over the last 2 weeks. Potentially, we've got a classic in store here.
First set.
Robbie Koenig, alongside
Novak
myself.
Djokovic to serve.
Enjoy.
Ready? Play. $15 love.
Comes in with a 15-match winning streak, of course, on hard courts. Going back to Miami, where he defended his title, Novak.
$15 all.
I think I'm going to speak about how well he's been able to defend his serve before he gets broken. Intelligent shot. And Novak was deep in the court after having defended so hard.
Early taster of what this might be about. Federer on the offense, you can see very early. Djokovic just not expecting that one.
He's played some great transition tennis this week. Seen him come in a fair bit, perhaps a little more than what we're accustomed to seeing. Which is nice. He's got the tools at his disposal, here's Roger.
$15, $14.
Well, having not been broken all week, with Robbie about to break open his stats. It's an early chance for Federer. He has got off to a flyer all week.
It's incredible how that happens and how often it happens. Well, let me sneak in the fact that when he won in Miami,
30,
he saved 25 of 30 break points. In Toronto, he saved 25 of 26. And this week he saved all 10 break points that he's faced. This is number 12.
Oh!
But he's leaked it wide, has Djokovic, and would you believe it? Federer is off to a flyer.
First game.
And you have to ask yourself the question, surely that's got to happen more often. Prior to that point, it was 60 of 66 break points saved. It just goes to show how astonishing those numbers are. When you see a point like the previous one unfold, where you can just leak it wide and get broken. Of course, the player on the other side of the court puts a lot of pressure on you, and got to factor that in. And of course, Roger's broken a lot of opponents in their first service game this week, hasn't he, Nick?
Yeah, Bogomolov, Fish, I think he broke early on.
Yeah, first service game of Marty.
Tomic as well. It's pretty close to breaking Wawrinka yesterday as well, early doors.
15-all.
Beautiful bit of feel from Federer. So aware again of playing the right shot.
30,
difficult shot to pull off, because when you're moving forward so aggressively, it's so easy to hit that a little too hard. But the extreme slice has to make such thin contact with the ball. And when Novak is one of the best movers, he still couldn't get there in time
40, 15.
to do anything meaningful with the shot.
No one's really got near Federer's serve this week. Only faced the one break point yesterday against Wawrinka.
Yeah, I don't know what's more astonishing. The fact that you've faced almost no break points the whole week, or whether that you've been able to fight off so many. Remarkable.
Game, Federer.
Suffocatingly early forehand again from Federer. It's the way he does it. And it's a good start. Conditions here pretty quick. Ball bounces a fair bit. Pretty jumpy. The balls are pretty hard as well this week. And as far as perhaps Masters 1000s go, this is certainly one of the quicker. Those three guys who have done the double as far as North America is concerned. Agassi, Roddick, couple, and Pat Rafter, 1998 was the third. Also done it since 69, but Cliff Ritchie in 69 and
15-all.
Eddie Dibbs in 1978. So this goes to prove how tough it is back-to-back weeks, perhaps even tougher given the fact we had the Olympics just 3 weeks ago as well. In fact, I was thinking, this is the 4th Sunday in a row Djokovic has played. Because he started
15.
on the Sunday of the Olympic Games.
Excellent point. Nervy start first before I miss on break point on a routine shot. Now missing his favourite backhand on the line. Not hitting that one with conviction either.
So break point again for Federer here. Double for
Federer.
And Djokovic is broken once more. Federer with an iron grip already on this first set. 3-love.
The Little League World Series on ESPN and ESPN2. The hard-hitting action of American football returns to ESPN with preseason action. Michael Vick and the high-flying Eagles head north to New England to take on the amazing Tom Brady and the New England Patriots as they begin the road back to the Super Bowl. Are you ready for some Monday Night Football? Eagles, Patriots, live Tuesday on ESPN, the home of the NFL.
Ball boys. Stay there until they say time. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle until they say time. You stay out.
As Robbie mentioned, 75 wins for titles for Roger Federer. If he wins today, he'll move within one.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
John McEnroe, who won 77, Lendl on 94, and they're all chasing Jimmy Connors. 109 titles Connors was able to win over the course of his career.
$15. $30.
Also won 15 doubles titles in his career, did Connors.
Left for service.
Only missed the one first serve so far, Federer.
40.
Rubbing salt into the wounds.
Federer.
Couldn't ask for a better start.
Federer leads 4 games to love. With this. $15 love.
Just needs to have 2 decent service games in a row now. I think. Not sure he's going to write off the set just yet, but needs to find some sort of rhythm. He's only made 6 of 14 first serves now. It's less than 45%.
Such a good front runner as well, Federer. As all the top guys are.
15. Oh.
Spreading the court beautifully, shot selection outstanding.
15.
And
13.
Vemic, who's with Novak this week, probably can't believe what he's seeing. Of course, no Marian Vida in Toronto or this week. Apparently he is going to be in New York. Not too sure why he hasn't been with Novak. Maybe just taking a bit of a break. Been a bit of speculation in the press, of course, of late.
30.
There's been some internal issues within the Djokovic camp.
Have you seen anything in his demeanour that would suggest that?
No, I haven't, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes the press is always looking for a story just because a guy's not winning like he did last year, which was unprecedented in the history of our sport, certainly in the last 30-odd years. It's very difficult to be able to back up what he did. The moment he's not producing a similar sort of results, everybody's looking for a reason and they're digging and they're probing, which that's where rumors and speculation begin.
Advantage, Federer.
Well, just looking down the head-to-head, there's never been a 6-love set.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Between these two.
Goes down a break here. Good chance of that happening.
Game, Federer.
Well, Djokovic has never managed to win a set in a final here in Cincinnati. He's certainly not going to win in the first one because this is a demolition. Federer has broken him 3 times. 5-zip.
Falcao goes himself, and what a goal! Oh, lovely turn! What a goal again! What a striker! Diego! That's it! Atletico Madrid are the 2012 Europa League champions.
The journey for glory continues Friday on ESPN. It's the ultimate souvenir. The odds are not on your side. You got a better chance of winning the lottery, striking oil in your backyard, or finding buried treasure. But on baseball's biggest stage, There's no greater reward than proving you're part of the team. Red Sox, Yankees, Monday on ESPN.
Federer, who announced a couple of extra dates to his tour of South America in December, facing Joe Wilfried Tsonga in Colombia on December the 15th, I think it is. Of course, he's facing Juan Martín del Potro as well on December the 12th. That'll be in Argentina, so he'll be keeping busy in the off-season.
Yeah, nice. Top up the bank account with a couple of exos. He doesn't come cheap, folks. Probably around $1 million just to show up, I would be guessing.
One more matches on tour this year. The Federer 55 wins he's chalked up so far this year. Just every single play he's reading, he's just one step ahead. Djokovic out of his rhythm. Djokovic won 8 points in this set so far.
Gasps when Federer misses one shot.
30-15. $40-15.
19 minutes. You'd have got a lot of money, long odds on it being under 20 this first set. But you'd have got long odds on it probably been under an hour.
$40-30.
Quite extraordinary. The first love set ever between these two. This is the world's 1 and 2, folks, but they're a mile apart right now. Federer, 6-zip.
The hard-hitting action of American football returns to ESPN with preseason action. Michael Vick and the high-flying Eagles head north to New England to take on the amazing Tom Brady and the New England Patriots as they begin the road back to the Super Bowl. Are you ready for some Monday Night Football? Eagles, Patriots, live Tuesday on ESPN, the home of the NFL.
Only a few more steps. These are the UEFA Champions League playoffs. This Wednesday, live on ESPN.
expected whatsoever. But so just 20 minutes down, and Djokovic is yet to get his side of the scoreboard moving. So time to regroup.
Second set. Please take a seat, especially behind the players. Thank you.
What's the serve got
Djokovic
left here? So we know we like to test you out there every now and again, to test your knowledge. And,
Love 15.
if you get in touch with us on the Twitter account, @RobKoenigTennis or @NickLester, we want to know the last time Djokovic conceded a love set. When was the last time on tour Djokovic conceded a love set? @RobKoenigTennis, @NickLester.
Doesn't happen too often.
Last time there was a love set in a Cincy final was in 1993. Thanks to my man Craig Gabriel in the press room for sharing that information with us. 1993 it was. Ed Berg did it to Chang, and Chang in fact ended up winning, having lost that first set, 6-love.
30-15.
To win. First point of any significance that he's won in this match.
40-30.
Doesn't want to go down a break early here.
Out.
He's missed it. Djokovic has arrested the decline.
New balls, please.
Hopefully for him to start to build a platform.
And I don't think it's going to concern him too
Second
much
set.
that he's lost the opening set 6-love. Sometimes it's almost easier to forget about a set when you lose it that convincingly. Sometimes when you lose a set 7-5 or 7-6 and you've had so many breakpoint opportunities, or you've had a couple of set points, it's a lot tougher to get it out of your mind. So he's almost got a little smirk on his face there. I think, bar the fact that he's got a physical problem, I think we're going to see a decent response from Novak in this set.
Thank you. Love 15.
Well, plenty of responses already. Rate that came back. Last time he lost a 6-love set was 10 minutes ago. I thought that was pretty funny. Tennis 1-2-4. He's got the right answer. Jamie Curtis, who was always quick on the draw as well. Good stuff.
Left for service.
Even my director, Guy Tassel's got the right answer, so maybe the question wasn't as tough as what we thought, Nick. Circa 1985 at its very best. Novak patrolling the net like a Rottweiler, not letting anything past.
14, 15.
But Federer finding the gap.
Look at the look on Djokovic's face.
So the answer to the question was?
14,
it was who took a bagel off Djokovic in Basel last year in the semi-finals, if I'm correct. Swiss indoors there.
Game, Federer.
It's rather tailed off the Djokovic after winning the US Open last year, ran out of steam.
1 game on. Love.
Pretty incredible. It's the 4th time in his career that Federer has won a love set off a present number 2 player in the world when he has been number 1.
That's unbelievable. What a return of serve, and I thought that was going to be
13,
the most
15.
important tactic throughout the course of this match. Both these guys came in serving pretty well. Federer a little better than Novak. But, I thought Novak would have the slight edge in the return department. Hasn't been the case, obviously. Another exquisite return by Federer.
Another double fall. It's his 5th of the match.
30 on.
Just to follow up on that, if you know the answer as to who the other 3 were that Federer bageled, the other number 2 players, let us know again. You know the Twitter accounts. Other 3 times that Federer bageled a number 2 player whilst he was number 1.
It's a beautiful forehand. Plenty of dip on it. For once, being able to get it out of Federer's strike zone.
40, 30. Djokovic.
Forehands with a little more on it, a little more purpose to it from Djokovic, who's just starting to build here.
Djokovic leads 2-1.
2-1 in the second.
The Little League World Series on ESPN and ESPN2.
Only a few more steps. These are the UEFA Champions League playoffs. This Wednesday, live on ESPN.
ATP Tour stopped in Cincinnati this week, just outside, about half an hour or so, outside of downtown Cincinnati. It's a nice little town as well, if you get the chance to come down here. As we've said all week, they have just done so many things to improve this tournament. It's grown significantly over the years. Extended the size of the grounds, 40% bigger than it was a couple of years ago here. More courts, much better facilities now as well for the fans. New food court that was built this year, it's like $3 million invested into that. It's a nice stop right now to come on the tour. Fill you in on the answer to the question. Federer bageled Nadal twice and Roddick once. Djokovic making a fourth here.
$15.
Exquisite angle, great liquid whip of a forehand.
40,
That's how
15.
I like to describe it in the words of Mr. Foster Wallace.
Game, Federer.
Got the serve and forehand just working perfect sync with one another.
2 games on. $15. $15. Out. 30-15.
That's a little more like it. Again, just starting to go after the forehand a little more.
40-15.
It's a little more positive as well.
Game.
Definitely
Djokovic.
feeling his way back into this one. There's Djokovic. Stays ahead.
Djokovic leads 3 games to 2.
Falcao goes himself, and what a goal! Oh, lovely turn! What a goal again! What a striker! Diego, that's it! Atletico Madrid are the 2012 Europa League champions.
The journey for glory continues Friday on ESPN.
It's the ultimate souvenir. The odds are not on your side. You got a better chance of winning the lottery, striking oil in your backyard, or finding buried treasure. But on baseball's biggest stage, there's no greater reward than proving you're part of the team. Red Sox, Yankees, today on ESPN.
Federer then serving 2-3 in the second. An effective shot for him today. All week, really.
15 love.
Great control of the racket. Face the way he's able to impart that much spin on the ball and take all the pace off of it.
I think he's been more aggressive under Annika.
15 on.
Perhaps, yeah. I mean, he's always been aggressive, hasn't he? Perhaps coming in a little bit more than we've seen perhaps maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. I love that approach. Move through the ball, go inside out, so you can still hit the ball aggressively.
15.
Large part of the court. Of course, Federer knows his way around the forecourt so well, knows where to cover.
It's unlike Djokovic to miss that sort of pass, because that one wasn't so good. For was into his stronger wing.
40-15.
He's taking him out of his rhythm again.
It's one of the easier volleys he's had today. Almost had too much time on it. In fact, I think that's just the first point.
40-30.
George has lost it net. Yep, it is. 7 of 8 until this point.
Left. Second service.
Stop it.
Federer.
Corner to corner, and he comes up with a little bit of magic to finish it off. Out of this world.
That's what it has been today for Federer.
3 games off.
Man, that's ridiculous. That is insane. And again, David Foster Wallace put it as perfectly as you could describe it. There are times when you watch the Swiss player when your jaw drops, eyes protrude, and sounds are made that bring spouses in from other rooms to see if you're okay. It's kind of what's happening today, isn't it?
Some writer.
Love 15.
David Foster once. He sadly lost his life a couple of years ago.
Wait, please.
People wondered what happened to Federer in the gold medal match at the Olympics. It's a little bit flat, a little bit fatigued against Andy Murray. But as he said, he won the silver. He felt that lose the gold.
Tony Godsick, his agent, was telling me what a positive individual he is all the time. Doesn't get bogged down with
15.
the press writing him off as he gets older, as they have done in the previous years. It's just water off a duck's back to him. He loves what he does, and he's just so upbeat.
Djokovic staring down that line almost in disbelief.
30
He's
off.
caught it. Caught it, it did. Off the court, that one from Djokovic.
40-30. Okay.
Another good game to win for the serve. Was blown away in the opening 20 minutes.
Djokovic leads 4 games to 3.
Sticking on in there. 4-3. He's ahead in the second.
That game gave people a taste of what can be in this country.
David, we didn't have 60,000 South Africans. We had 43 million South Africans.
What if I told you that a game could unify a country?
Madiba took my hand and he shook it and he said, "Thank you very much for what you've done for South Africa." I said to him, "Madiba, you got it wrong. Thank you for what you've done."
Tonight, an encore of The 16th Man, part of the 30 for 30 film series on ESPN.
And of course, it was Novak Djokovic who was able to break the stranglehold that Federer and Nadal had on the sport for a good 4 or 5 years. He was the one who believed enough in himself and enough about him to knuckle down and say, "I'm not standing for this. I don't want to be third best in the world." I think so many people talk about the era that we're in being perhaps the toughest era of all time. It's the achievement from Djokovic in itself to be able to do that just shows how tough this guy is. You would never rule him out despite the difficulties he had here. He's in front in the second. Frustration at last. Might do him some good.
That's what I want to see if I'm coaching him, and the fans recognize that as well. He is desperate to make a fight out of this one. You always have to look at things with the blinkers on. And if you're Novak, you've got to just, I think, get your 3 points away from going up a break and serving for the second set.
That's gone wide, and can't remember Federer being at 15-30 the entire match.
Well, remember, in the opening set, he won every single point behind his second serve. Vastly different story now in set number 2. Of course, Djokovic has got his second serve working in the right direction. Big improvement there from 10% to 63%.
Up. Federer's blistering forehand again.
30-all.
Childhood friends, Dusan Vermic and Novak Djokovic. Go back a long way, those two.
from Novak to miss off his backhand side.
40-30.
These are the kind of exchanges he wants to get into. Forehand to forehand, it's going to be Federer all day. And you wouldn't think it would be that one-sided. Federer dominant in the longer rallies.
Okay.
He rather lets him off the hook there. Was Djokovic. Wasn't able to pressure him from 15-30. Federer is going to grab the towel.
4 games off.
Moving ever closer. The great Swiss man to a 5th title here. Cincinnati, a title that would see him stand alone.
Thank you. love.
Brilliant forehand again. Just taking it so early. Lower center of gravity is here. Knees are bent. It gives you the base and platform to work off of. Right on the baseline, inside the baseline. On average today, he's been half a meter inside that baseline when he makes contact with the ball.
Body serve tying him up.
30-15.
Djokovic with just his 2nd forehand winner of the match.
Just funny feeling as well, Nick. As well as Federer's been playing
40-15.
opening 50-odd minutes, I've just got a funny feeling about Novak squeaking out the 2nd set and us going the distance. I don't know what it is that's just pricking my consciousness.
Oh, what a hit from Djokovic. Federer's ball flirted with the line. Djokovic, though, dismisses it. And now the Serb, who's hung in there, is within a game.
Djokovic
taking us all the way.
Falcao goes himself. And what a goal! Oh, lovely turn. What a goal again! What a striker. Diego, that's it! Atletico Madrid are the 2012 Europa League champions.
The journey for glory continues Friday on ESPN.
It's the ultimate souvenir. The odds are not on your side. You got a better chance of winning the lottery, striking oil in your backyard, or finding buried treasure. But on baseball's biggest stage, there's no greater reward than proving you're part of the team. Red Sox, Yankees, today on ESPN.
This event owned and operated by an organisation called Cincinnati Tennis, but the majority shareholder of Cincinnati Tennis is the USTA. So even though the company, which is based in Cincinnati, runs the tournament, the USTA still have a very large part in what goes on. work for charity, this event as well. I was reading some $7 million have been donated back to a local children's hospital over the 30 years that this event's been here.
Thank you.
Back to the community. Federer, 4-5.
$15 love. Out. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. 30 love.
Nice little bit of gamesmanship there. Could have gone anywhere with his backhand pass because for once Roger's feel lets him down and he goes straight through Federer. Look at this. Roger's thinking up the line of cross court, really giving up on the point.
No apology. Right there when he went straight through it. Sort of return though. I don't think we've seen Djokovic miss that often on a big point like that.
Yeah.
So un-Djokovic-like. And of course, Federer just mops up.
New ball, please.
Plenty out there, 10 million fans he has on his Facebook page alone. First, I think, tennis player across that mark. Rafa's not far away.
Haven't had too much to shout about in the 60 minutes that this one's been on the go. Serbian fans.
$15 love. $15 on.
That's a real turn up of pace. Seen that quite a lot this week. Not today. It's the first one really he's really exploded on.
15.
Yeah, tennis vernacular we call it taking a big cut at the ball.
Left for service.
Jaw-dropping forehand. Turning up the pace, finally. Perhaps just in the nick of time. When you talk about defending aggressively, it's a perfect example of the modern-day tennis player right there. Want to be world-class, got to be able to do that.
He's emerged from his shell. Novak Djokovic here, and this is getting interesting. Djokovic plugging into the noise that is ringing around the stadium. 6-5, he leads in the second.
6-5.
That game gave people a taste of what can be in this country.
David, we didn't have 60,000 South Africans. We had 43 million South Africans.
What if I told you that a game could unify a country?
Madiba took my hand and he shook it and he said, thank you very much for what you've done for South Africa. I said to him, Madiba, you got it wrong. Thank you for what you've done.
Tonight, an encore of the 16th Man, part of the 30 for 30 film series on ESPN. Only a few more steps. These are the UEFA Champions League playoffs. This Wednesday, live on ESPN.
So this match has a slightly different look about it now. Could have a dramatically different look in the next 10 minutes or so.
Time.
Things all his own way. He's the four-time champion here up until now. Serving to take us into the breaker.
Question from Clint Edwards. He's asking me about the transitional game, what I mean by that. And that's the shot that Roger uses to come to the net, and of course that whole process of then finishing the point off with the volley. Plays predominantly from the baseline, but then he makes a decision to hit the inside-out approach or the backhand slice, comes to the net and finishes the point off, which he was doing very well in the first set and a half. That is what your transition game is, the process that you choose to use going about wanting points off at the net. Hope that makes sense, Clinton Empress.
13-15.
Severin Luthi on the right there. Swiss Davis Cup captain.
$14-15.
So 2 points to take us into a second set tiebreak.
Left for service.
It's indeed where we head. Honours even as as far as their tie breaks go over the years. They've played 12.
6 games all, second set tiebreak. Both players receive 1 additional challenge.
Who's your money on? Is Federer wrapping it up right now?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Federer. Okay. You?
Got to go with Djokovic then, right? Got to make it interesting. Let's see how this one unfolds.
Great hands from Federer at the net yet again.
I've seen him at some exquisite half-volley drop shots. I mean, this one is no exception because he knows how quick Novak is. And if he's a little heavy-handed, the next one's going right at his chest, as we saw happen a couple of games ago.
First blood to Federer. Jumps out of the forehand.
Terminal forced errors.
2-0, Federer.
Surprisingly, the forehand hasn't been as costly as the backhand today, Nick. It's 21 in total. 11 have come from the backhand, only 5 from the forehand. Your strength is deserting you. It's not a good feeling as a player.
Djokovic might. Federer is just 1 step ahead again.
3-0, Federer.
And a man who has a phenomenal record in tiebreaks, Federer. One of the best of all time when it comes to the first to 7 points.
Mr. Federer challenging the call. Right far sideline. The ball is called out.
Probably a side spin on that one. He may have just missed it.
All stands. Federer. Mr. Federer has 3 challenges remaining.
Wide and a much better return from Djokovic, rocking Federer back.
Those are the kind of returns you were looking for a little earlier on when you were suggesting that he was missing some routine ones. That was a decent second serve, but returned with interest. We've seen him miss returns a lot easier than that one. It does make things a lot more interesting now as we go into what I like to call sweaty palm territory.
Djokovic is fired up here because he's got the lead in the breaker, and it's 4 points on the bounce.
This time, Federer's hands can't get him out of trouble. Novak chooses to go with the forehand up the line to get the job done.
4-3.
Patience there. Not looking for the outright winner. When he got the one he was looking for, then he was prepared to pump it.
Been a slumber for a lot of this match, Djokovic. But is he emerging?
Can you believe it? The first time he has a chance to put a bit of daylight between himself and Federer. And he misses with the routine forehand. You can't believe it. Those kind of shots erode your confidence in yourself. Two back-to-back points that we've just seen, very unlike world number 1 and world number 2. Simple forehand initially from Novak, and a routine backhand shanked by Roger.
5-4, Djokovic.
To produce your 8th ace of the contest.
5-all.
Well, that particular shot has provided a platform for Federer over the years. 2 phenomenal first serves under the most intense pressure here.
6-5.
He's reached championship point.
Federer.
Here's the Swissman.
Cool as a cucumber. There's do some damage, but
6-all.
the ticker has got to be racing. And remember, he's got a little bit of a history of saving match points against Roger Federer in big matches, Nick Lester.
So back to their last meeting on hard courts in North America. On hard court specifically, of course. Djokovic lasered a couple of returns by him in the semi-final of the US Open last year. I think Federer said he wasn't even looking when he hit them.
Thank you.
Back level, 6 apiece.
Wait, please.
Worn the backhand down.
Djokovic.
Djokovic with a set point.
forecourt. No panic from Federer. Djokovic had a good look at the pass. Perhaps a little surprising. He went with the lob.
Very surprising. Right here. You'd probably back Djokovic in that situation, but Robbie was saying all week he's done such a fine job moving forwards.
14 today. Good numbers.
Years plus on tour, Roger Federer, but you think he likes competing still? You bet he does.
8-7.
What a reaction.
Federer.
Championship point once more. Roger Federer stands alone in Cincinnati, the first ever five-time champion in the open era of this event. A 21st Masters 1000 title for the great Swissman. Champion once more in America's Midwest. Federer, unbowed. The world #1 beats the world #2. 6-love, 7-6.
What a performance it was from Federer. That'll give him a lot of satisfaction. Scheduled himself beautifully. He played just the right amount of tennis between Wimbledon, I guess, and here chose not to play last week. Awfully fresh in the finals today. And played some jaw-dropping tennis, especially in that first set and a half. Must be said, Novak was well off his game in the beginning. A lot of routine errors, especially on big points. Of course, he came into this final with such an excellent record in saving break points, and then, of course, gets broken the first 3 tries when he steps up to the line. Made a fist of it in the second set, and I think he would love that backhand pass over again, Nick, at 7-6 when he had a good look at it, chose the lob instead of trying to drive the ball past Federer. If he could take one shot back, it would probably be that one. But again, Federer finds a way to win in a tight situation, and his beloved forehand punctuating the match beautifully. He's a champion for the 5th time here in Cincinnati in 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Just paid really today, Novak Djokovic, for a poor start. Certainly looked a little bit fatiguing there. As we await the trophy ceremony, there'll be Mary Jo Fernandez, who will be the master of ceremonies this afternoon. She is married to Federer's agent, Tony Godsek. Perfect fillip, really, for Federer going into the final major of the year as well. Yet to Didn't drop a set all week. Imperious once more, as I say, in America's Midwest. Seems to love the conditions here. Really suit his game.
That's been outstanding here. Conditions can be so tough today and pretty much the whole week. Conditions have been absolutely ideal. It's one of the most moderate Cincy tournaments I can remember. I've been coming here for 20 years. And the players certainly would have signed for this at the start of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mary Jo Fernandez of CBS Sports.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, how about another round of applause for these two amazing champions? This year marks the 114th straight year that professional tennis has been played in Cincinnati. Please welcome Tournament Director Vince Cicero. Vince?
Thanks, Mary Jo. Certainly an amazing week of tennis, and to close out with #1 and #2 is incredible for all of us. A special thanks to our 1,300 volunteers that helped put all everything together, and certainly our fans with another record-setting attendance.
Congratulations, Vince, on a fantastic tournament. Since 2002, the tournament has partnered with the Western and Southern Financial Group to make this event one of the most prestigious titles in the world. Please welcome Chairman, President, and CEO, Mr. John Barrett.
Thank you so much, Mary Jo. Guys, you played great. Thank you for a wonderful week of tennis. The people just loved it. Biggest crowd in our history. We couldn't be more pleased. Two real champions. Thank you, guys.
And now our finalist, Novak. You've had a really busy summer. This is your 4th consecutive Sunday playing tennis. How are you feeling physically? You started a little bit slow, but it seemed like you got your teeth into it in the second set.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Roger and his team. It's been a great week for them. Obviously, he was a better player today on the court, and he started off really well. I made a lot of double faults and first errors, and I was just trying to get the first game and get some things moving, and second set was good. I had my chances, I missed them, and Roger deserved the trophy.
You talked earlier in the week, though, how happy you were with how you rebounded since the Olympics, and you won in Canada, so you must be pleased. How excited are you now going into the US Open?
Well, I'm very pleased. You know, I had a fantastic week in Toronto. You know, very emotional Olympic Games, and managing to win the trophy in Toronto meant a lot to me, for my confidence, and coming in here. I really didn't expect to get this far, to get all the way to the finals, and it's a great result, and hopefully I can have a good US Open.
Well, congratulations on another great week. Best of luck in the US Open. John will present you with your trophy, Novak. And now our champion, Roger Federer. Roger, record-breaking 5th time you win here in Cincinnati. What is it about this event? I think I can hear part of it, why you play so well here.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's got a lot to do with the crowd. I mean, we travel a lot, so when you come to a place where you feel comfortable, the crowds appreciate the game, and we do the same, and we appreciate the fans. It's a lot of fun. So I think thanks on behalf of all the players for an amazing week, record breaker. It's always something special when it happens. So thanks for that, and thanks for making me play so well this week again.
You also have had a busy and exciting summer. How have you been able to transition so well from playing so long on the grass now to the hard courts?
Well, we do play mostly on hard courts, so the change is a big one, but it's one that we do on a regular basis. Even more so impressive, I thought that Novak was able to go after the Olympics and play Toronto basically 2 days later, so that's a great effort. Backing it up here again in an incredible week, I think is a great round of applause for Novak for a great effort. And for me as well, like Novak said, I mean, it is a bit of a surprise, even though we are ranked #1, #2. You never really expect yourself to win these type of big tournaments. So it's been another amazing week for me, and I'm having a magical summer. So it's obviously very nice, and I'm excited about New York now, but still, I'll first savor this one for a bit.
Well, congratulations. John will present you with the Rookwood Cup.
5th time's the charm, right? That's his 5th. Western Southern Open trophy in the last 11 years. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2012 Western Southern Open champion, Roger Federer.
Well, the perfect week for the Swiss maestro. Not dropping a set the entire 5 matches. Looking good, Rob, going into New York.
He certainly is. Of course, he won at Wimbledon. Now, scheduling himself well, chose not to play last week in Canada. Wins here, will rest up again next week. He'll head to New York, I'm pretty sure, tomorrow or Tuesday, and just settle in there. And of course, we know what his record is like at the US Open. It's incredible. And I guess off the back of the wins that he's had of late, he's got to be the favorite going in there. No Nadal, of course. We know he's got a good record against Andy. He's got a good record against Novak in big matches. So, the #1 player in the world. Enjoying being back at the top of the rankings, and it's going to be tough to beat given the form that he's shown of late, Nick.
First, we'd like you to please accept this iconic symbol of celebration, a beautiful bottle of Moet Imperial, the champagne of success, glamour, and victory.
And of course, the third Masters 1000 event that he's won this year, which is impressive in itself. The last time he was able to win 3 is way back in 2006. And of course, in 2006, he went on to win 4. And of course, we still got the events in Asia and in Paris at the year end. And perhaps he can equal that, if not top it.
And for Novak, Rob, how painful is this today for him?
Yeah, he's got a lot of matches under his belt with the US Open just around the corner. That's always key for these guys. I think the confidence is going to be pretty good. It's not going to be sky high. I think if he had won here, different story. But sometimes I think that's not a bad thing going into a major. You've got that additional motivation, perhaps work a little harder the next few days. And I think what that does is from round #1, it keeps your focus sharp. You know that you're not on top of your game still. As he mentioned, a few too many unforced errors, too many double faults today. So I think that sharp focus will serve him well at the US Open. He knows what it takes to go all the way there, of course. And it'll be interesting to see who ends up making it onto finals Sunday. Andy Murray, of course, with a lot of work to do between now and then. But these two, they've got to be top of your list, right?
Yeah, Novak Djokovic never really lacked any bounce-back ability, has he? It's been, we've seen it over the years from him. A man, as I say, who incredibly broke the mold of Federer and Nadal. Many people thought it couldn't be done, and yet he believed enough in himself to be able to make that happen. A strong character of that, there is no doubt.
Oh, we spoke about the fact it was 6 years ago that he was able to win 3 or more Masters 1000 events, so he certainly is turning back the clock in many ways as Federer.
It was always going to be difficult for Djokovic as well, wasn't it, to repeat what he did last year. I mean, you talk about him leaving here last year with 2 losses. That just wasn't going to happen again. That was a freak year.
And a man who his company puts up the big bucks for the tournament. The CEO of the Western and Southern Financial Group, John Barrett, enjoying his time with Roger there, and rightly so. He should be front and center. Without gentlemen like him and without companies like his, events like this just simply aren't possible. Big thanks to the sponsors.
And to the volunteers. Over 1,000 volunteers here this week, unheralded really. They do a lot of the work as well. Making sure the fans know where they're going and whatever else is happening. And we saw in London, as Rob was saying, just how successful they were. It's been a very good week here in Cincy. Successful week